Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat. We're going to be talking about, oh my goodness, this is such a great topic, being unshakable, transforming setbacks into your strength. And I want you to give a warm welcome to our amazing special guest, Carrie Helms. Carrie, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Heather, thank you so much. We've been swirling around each other for, I don't know, almost a year now, I'm guessing. And I was so looking forward to our conversation today.
Oh, yes, me too. I know it's going to be some awesome wisdom for all of us to thrive. So let me first share with y'all what is the purpose of the show. The purpose of the Freedom Friday show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony. Because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen our relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum so that we can increase what? Our confidence, our calm, and our cash flow with a lot of ease and grace, bringing more ideal clients into our business, charging our value, and creating more time, money, and emotional freedom so that we can be more present with ourselves and our loved ones. I just love all things business and life harmony because that's really what it's all about. We're supposed to live our purpose with a lot of passion and a lot of prosperity. It all comes together. So let me tell them, oh, Carrie, I'm going to go ahead and share with them, who are you? So you may be ever wondered, how can I create a life filled with joy and meaning, even if I'm clear or unsure of about next steps? Well, guess what? You're in luck because today we have Carrie Helms, and she has enjoyed guiding super achieving women around the world to own their queen over the past 20 plus years. She is an international speaker, best-selling author, and midlife reinvention alchemist. Oh my goodness. She's even developed a holistic system that empowers women to awake their inner wisdom and reclaim their self worth so confidently that they are able to reimagine and live into their next chapter with clarity, courage, and joy. I know y'all want a lot of that.
Yeah.
And she also blends experience as a human resource executive with years as a business coach, therapist, and energy worker to guide women into their mission, on a mission to pinpoint what's truly important to them so they can live, oh my goodness, this juicy aliveness is what she talks about, y'all. Juicy aliveness. That just sounds so juicy. I feel like my mouth just like embracing all those things juicy about living, right? And after years of professional and academic research, it also has an advanced degree in psychology. She's proven that tapping into your heart and body's wisdom creates everyday miracles. When she's not coaching, writing, or speaking, she actually enjoys spending time hiking and biking in the redwoods along the central coast of California. Oh my goodness, that sounds so nice. So nice. So, Carrie, this topic about being unshakable, right? Transforming setbacks into your strength. Why is this something that's so important, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs?
We all like to say our health is our wealth. And I have to say that until I broke down in corporate, did I realize that that was really true. And I just have to say, I realized how aligned your message and my message is. A few years ago, I did I guess it was a telesummit, and it was called Women Rise Up, Align with your purpose, your passion, and your profitability. Are we in alignment or what? And so
Totally.
how important it is for us to align or to access something that's just more than our head, right? But our body's wisdom, our heart's wisdom. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Because with that total alignment, we at another level living talk about winning your inner world, and that allows you to master your outer world. So I'm so excited to hear how can we do this? You got to share with us. How can we do this? We are ready. We are ready to receive. Please share with us, what are some tips and strategies that you have so that we can step into this unshakability. I made a new
Yeah, I
one.
love it. Thanks so much for asking. So I think first it's probably important to say that I didn't just come to this body of work like it popped in. We always have some kind of a compelling, let's call it setback, right? That sets us on this stage of wanting more tools. And mine was burning out in corporate. I was 12 plus years in corporate and realizing that, well, it almost took away my most cherished, I call it goal, which was to become a mom. I was so stressed out that I could not conceive a child. So it wasn't until I put corporate to the side that I made me a priority could I actually realize that, okay, this, this is true living. It's not just enough to make money, right? But that ability for us to have deeper relationships, and it starts with having a deeper relationship with ourselves, or like I like to say, being the queen of our destiny, making ourselves a priority. And so the tools that I've been sharing with women are a result of my own excavation, my own imbalance, right? It's finding, realizing that there must be a way. So when I went for my advanced degree in somatic psychotherapy, I said there must be a way that for us to access our superhuman potential. So because the way we're doing things, can we all agree, is crazy. Pushing, 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 and yet depleting our inner resources. And we as women, especially because we're balancing the kids. I know you know this, Heather. The kids, the parents, we have our outside community. Like I'm on one board. Generally, I'm on two boards. I'm running my business. I have my family. It's it's a lot that we put on our plate. And so it's important that we actually have tools that we can come back to time and time again. And so the tools that I've been using most recently have been positive intelligence. I think you know about the positive intelligence, but I'll just say it's been really powerful for me to be able to ask women. I'll give you an example. I was working with a client recently and she was being sued. Her license was being taken away and she needed to get out of that line of business. And there was nothing that she could have said or done that, it came as a surprise. So she came to me saying, Carrie, how are we going to find a way through? So I said, well, luckily I have tools to help you do that, right? To be able to calm your nervous system down so you can think calmly and creatively. Because when we're in lockdown, we can't think. Yeah. Like that. What is it that Einstein said? He said that you can't find a solution to your problems in the same mind that created it.
Correct, because it's like this, it's almost like it's like the self-imposed shackle and prison that you just can't get out of. Like, or some people will like, go ahead, get up and keep going. And it's like you're trying to get up, but you got a big old maybe like rock on your chest and you can't move. So it
Yeah.
creates that paralysis. And I'm so glad that you have these skills on how to break free from that.
So the first thing that I invite people to do is accept what is. You can't change it. It's happening to you, with you, for you. I like to say for you rather. And so you accept what is, and then you say, okay. And if they need help processing the grief, I work through that as well. But then we find the gifts, and it comes from this question: what knowledge would I need to gain so that the payoff is greater than what it's costing me now? The anguish, the pain, the sadness, all of that. So what's the knowledge what I need to gain? And often what I find is that, well, I'll just say in this recent circumstance, this client was reminding me she knows how resilient she is. She knows how powerful her words are. And she knows that her powerhouse, it's really a call for her to come back to herself and make herself a priority in her life.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Oh, so good. So good. So it's that part, that question. Repeat that question one more time because I think that was so, so profound. What is it that, go ahead.
Yeah. So once you accept that it is, that you're not fighting the reality, right? You can find the gifts. And that's what we call excavating or being a curious archaeologist. And that's is really the set of tools, by the way, that rather than coming from a judgy mind, making ourselves bad and wrong and not enough, which is what I see a lot in women, the not enough is we come from that place of sage mind, of curiosity, of alignment with purpose, and that deeper sense of compassion for ourselves. And so the question is, and I guess even I'll start with this, the point of compassion for ourselves first, before we go to the question, is think of a time in your life when you're maybe you were younger and maybe 10, then you go even before 6, time in your life when you're like, oh yeah, that's I remember myself at that age. And you take a deep breath into that and you see the pure essence of that child. You see the joy, you see the yeah, that just shining through that is our pure essence. And once we have compassion for that inner child, you can come back, right? Once you have compassion for that inner child, you can say, oh, baby, I'm going to take good care of you. And then you ask the question, what knowledge would I need to gain so that the payoff is larger than what it's costing me now?
Oh my goodness. So such a powerful question. Is that what it is, similar to what the name of your company is, keys to empowerment. Just in that message itself, a lot of times people can say, and we can all get in that victim of like, why is this happening to me? Right. And it's this realization that we are the masters of our fate. We are the captain of our ship. And it's time to be able to own that and let that fully shine, right? And breaking free from the limitations that we thought life was supposed to be about. And that's one of the reasons why I love entrepreneurship, because entrepreneur working for someone else is great, but entrepreneurship is freedom because it really is an extension of all that we are, right? So it's
I, I love that, Heather, because what I like to say is entrepreneurship is one of the greatest personal development tools that we have.
yes, it is.
Because it will show you where your spots are that you need to be working on. So in my case, I happen to know that I'm a super achiever and I'm a recovering controller and perfectionist. So that ability for me to realize, okay, that's who I am or what I've experienced because I'm trying to stay safe, right, from my earlier times in my life when I was being criticized by a narcissistic father. So I
Mm.
realized, okay, thank you. Thank you for helping me to keep me safe. And I know that there's really nothing that can take me out.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing that. We all tend to, especially for those who are called for amazing things, tend to have a little bit of challenges with parents. That probably sometimes lead into relationships. And with the work that we're doing, this beautiful thing is it's like, regardless of what's happening out there, when you step into the amazingness queendom that you are in Kingdom for Amazing Men who are listening, it is really beautiful because then you can just be with love with anything else outside. And it's not that it doesn't define you. You know who you are. You know where you're going. You know how to be, and that clarity is something that's so powerful in spite of the circumstances and situations and um maybe, one of the things I usually hear is that a lot of times we can feel unsupported,
Mhm.
especially about those who are closest to us, right? And then we have to unlearn all of these self-imposed shackles that we created based on other people's perceptions of us, right? And how to shift that and recognizing, and I think this is one of the reasons why I love um, teaching people about the mind and the heart, because
Mhm.
everything is filtered through their perception and model of the world. But guess what? It doesn't have to be yours. You have your own perception and you're finding it, right?
Oh, in fact, I like to say that you're using another set of lenses when you begin to see the world as safe, as nurturing, as it's happening for me, not to me. So it's really putting on a new pair of glasses that says, I am no longer a victim. I am at choice.
So good. So good. Oh my goodness, Carrie, this is amazing. Do you have one other nugget or wisdom that you want to share? So far, that part about accepting what is, also that part about finding compassion, being able to ask that deep question that's going to start bringing the answers to um, the lighter way forward for your soul, your mind, body, and soul. And what is another tip and strategy that you have to share for us to be able to support us in getting in that unshakable ability?
Well, would this be a good time for me to talk about the uh, free gift that I have for your listeners?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm just going to share with you because we have such a short period of time here and there's so much that I want to share. But
Okay.
like you, I want your listeners to come away with tools that they can use time and time again when the stuff hits the fan, right?
Okay,
And
cool.
and one of the things that I've been using over the past, well, I guess it's been about 5 years since COVID times, and it was the work that I was doing to access our internal wisdom. Again, it's that whole concept that Einstein said that we can't solve a problem in the same mindset that we created it. So it's something that I call nature speak. So it's a short meditation that helps us all to realize the power of not just being in our head, like we've been taught that, that this is where our wisdom is. Our wisdom is in our body and in the imaginal space for us to see possibilities or hidden resources that allow us to find solutions to our most pressing challenges. And I'll give you an example. I was just took a small group into the redwoods recently, and we did this process because I'm always fine tuning. In if I have a couple retreats coming up, and so I'm always fine tuning the process to see how I can take people even deeper. And during that guided meditation, I invited people to first go within, to ground, to be present in their body in this present moment awareness, because this is all we have. And then I asked them, we were in the redwood trees, but I said, be in that space of just knowing that you are deeply held and nurtured, and then invite a guide. And it could be a master, a great thinker. Maybe it's that person that that dead or alive that you feel might have the answers. Bring them to the space, and then ask your question. And what I got, I don't even remember the question that I asked, but it might have been like, how can I even be stronger in my conviction and in my ability to spread the word of really that women have a choice and that we can live with I'll call it live with juicy aliveness, like what you were talking about. We talked about at the beginning. And that's by having deep compassion for ourselves. And so the image I was given as I was in the redwood trees was just this moment. I mean, they've been here for hundreds of years, right? These are massive trees, tall and wide. And I got that, okay, this too shall pass, right? And that with deep roots, knowing our values, knowing what direction I want to go, and knowing myself, I can stand really strong like those trees as I reach for the sky, as I realize that there are infinite number of resources that are available to me. I just need to ask. So these are the message, like, where did this come from, right?
Oh my goodness. And as you were talking, like the thing that I was thinking about is that, ask and you shall receive. I
Mhm.
think the one biggest thing is that we don't ask. When we don't ask, the answer is always no or never get it. But if you do ask, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? You may not get like a whole answer, but you'll get something.
And this is what I found too, is that often people don't know what they need, so they can't ask for what they need because you follow, they haven't paused long enough to actually know what
It
they need.
It really is about being like what you're describing here. And we're gonna put the link. Thank you so much for this awesome gift, Carrie, because we're gonna put the link in the show notes. So make sure you grab Carrie's gift and listen to that meditation. It's gonna lead you on a nice journey with Carrie for sure. Well, as you were talking, one of the things that it was reminding me of, a lot of times we think that we're supposed to do all these things, and that's where we all were before, in corporate, and when I was in the government, that's what that burnout led to this. So we're doing all these things, and then we end up having these things, and then being, we think, is like this natural byproduct of it. Oh, eventually we'll be able to be, or we'll be able to retire. But it really is about being everything that you're called to be. That more allows us to do everything that we're called to do with much more flow, not force. And then the having everything that we are called to be is this beautiful natural byproduct where we're open to receive. Life that way is so much better. And this is
So
a
much better. And it's not only better, I think it's imperative. I learned this through my leadership program that when we know who we be, for example, I'm a compassionate, passionate, loving leader.
Yes,
I
you
know
are.
if I step and I'm not leading or I'm not being compassionate with myself or others, then I'm outside of my zone of genius. And so I go, whoop, okay.
Just bring it back in.
Bring it back in. I know who I am. And we get that from knowing our values. I've been working with women to begin to gain clarity on who they get to be. And I like to say you get to be the queen or the king of your destiny.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Carrie, thank you so much for blessing us with your time today, with your wisdom. Everyone who's listening in Another Level Living Land, I want you to put in the comments, what is your biggest takeaway from this message? What is your biggest takeaway, and what action are you going to take in addition to getting Carrie's free gift so you can continue the journey with her? And you know that sharing is caring. So if you were given this message of empowerment, which I know that you have, go ahead and share this out to the rest of the world and to your world to give someone else this gift of stepping into their amazing kingdom and queendom. Carrie, what would be the biggest, based on everything that you shared with us, what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
That you can always choose a new path. You know, I would really say in this moment, you take a breath, that's a new breath, it's a new day, it's a new moment. Pay attention to what's in your heart.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Everyone in Another Level Living Land, let this message marinate into your mind, body, and soul. Thank you so much again, Carrie, for blessing us with your wisdom and giving us this beautiful gift of your presence today. And everyone in Another Level Living Land, we look forward to seeing you again for another episode of Freedom Fridays. In the meantime, allow nature to speak. Take advantage of Carrie's amazing gift, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Heather.
You're so
Bye.
welcome.